This conference will now be recorded.
Yes. Very good morning. See, so far in our sessions, we have gone through how developers push the code or commit the code to the repositories. Right? But now let's look into what happens after that. Okay. So that means as a developer now. So I have the source code and which has been committed. So also has been committed or pushed to a repository. So we know that when you talk about repositories, we have SVN repository or Git repository, whatever the repository is. So so the code is ready. Then what is after that? Once your code is been pushed onto the repository, and then comes code build. So we call it code build. Now, so what is code build? In a way, we'll just see. Okay. Now there comes building part, code build. Right? Now, so the code build is nothing but talk about compile the code and then also go with some unit testing and then package. This is what we call code build. So code build is nothing but compile the code and go with some unit testing and also packaging it. Okay, this is what is nothing but your building part. But so how are we going to build it? Are we going to use some tools? Yes, of course we have some build tools. Now here we talk about build tools. Right? So build tools will help to build your project as usual. Now, so but we are seeing just what exactly building is. Compile unit testing and packaging it is what we call building. But who does building it? So I mean, see, building actually will be done by us. That means DevOps engineer. But how are we going to build it? Of course, we have tools. Okay, we have tools for using those tools. Okay. Now, as of now, like we'll just look into what are the tools we have for building purpose and how do you use these tools. And next, we'll proceed with. So, can we integrate these tools into Jenkins? Yes, to make it automated. But that's all secondary. So, well, first we'll go through these tools like Ant, Maven tools, which are build tools. These are build tools. Okay, these tools will help us to build your project. Okay, now, so but what are those tools? How they differ? We'll just look into them slowly anyway. And once we get this knowledge about what is building Ant and Maven, so then we'll just move on to how this can be automated, how building can be automated. Okay, but that we'll discuss that at the time of Jenkins. That means continuous integration automation. Okay, so as of now, we are concentrating what exactly tools we have, how these tools work. That's it. Okay, now we are not talking about anything automation. Okay, right. So now let's first move on to. So today we're going to start with Ant actually. Let's start with Ant. And so Ant, Maven, so both are from same provider, same vendor, Apache. Ant, Maven both are from same vendor, which is Apache. So why same provider has come up with the market with two different tools, Ant, Maven, and moreover, these tools are used for Java products, right? Ant, Maven are the tools which we use it for like building your Java products. Okay, now, so but what if I like to build some different products? So are there any other tools? Yes, we have tools. Okay. For example, we have a tool called Fing. So Fing is used for PHP projects. And then, so we have a tool called NAND. NAND is for .NET projects. It's for .NET projects, right? And then also we have Ping, and even we have Gradle. Okay, so Gradle is for to build Java projects, right? So these are different tools available in the market for building different types of platforms, technologies. Okay, but Ant, Maven, Gradle are the tools available in the market for Java projects building part. Anyway, so we're going to concentrate now, as of now today, with Ant first, then we'll move on to Maven. Okay, now these tools will help us in building Ant and Maven projects, and later, so we'll see. First, we'll start with Ant, and then we'll move on to then we'll move on to Maven. But is Ant so important? Actually, Ant is not at all important, to be honest. So, but why we are learning Ant? So, because still in the market there are some projects, existing projects, they have Ant as a build tool. Okay, but new projects always they work with Maven, because Maven is advanced. They have many advantages over Ant. Okay, then what are the advantages? How do we compare it? And I'll explain that part at the time of Maven. Okay, so now let's start with Ant, and then after that, after probably we'll spend about a couple of sessions for Ant, then we'll move on to Maven. Okay, and so Ant is not important. So, but the concepts, whatever we're going to learn in Ant, so are helpful in Maven. Okay, remember this. So if you learn some concepts, any concept that is important in Maven, and that makes your job easy in understanding Maven. Okay, so why? Like I said, Ant Maven are from same provider, same vendor, Apache. Okay, remember this. Now, so anyway, let's start with Ant. Okay, Ant is also a tool will help us in building, that means compilation, compile of your Java projects. Okay, fine. But what if, let's say there is no Ant, there is no Maven, then how do I compile my project? Okay, let's see. So using Java. So now take a simple hello.java file, and then let's compile that file. How do you compile it? We're going to compile using Java commands. Now take an example. Let's say I have a Java file, and so this is how your Java file starts. So class and then class name. Okay, and then we have, so did some program here, and here we are printing some statement, hello world. That's it. Okay, so very easy one. And every Java file starts with class name, and this class name is hello, and that's your Java file, hello.java file. Now this is your source file. Let's compile the source file using Java commands. So how do I compile this? So just copy the path, so in which we have that file, hello file, and open command line, and then change your directory to D drive. Why D drive? Change directory. So because in that path I have my source file. There is your source file, and let's compile it. How to compile it? Java C is the command. It means Java compile, and the file name you like to compile. So hello.java file. Now enter. Now we are compiling it, and then we have a class is created. Okay, here we have a class file which is created. Okay, so this class file is an output for us, right? That means it's a compiled version. Now let's run that compiled version. How to run it? Java and then hello.class file, but dot class is not required. Just go with hello. Okay, now there we have hello world. Yep, so very easy commands. Now and these are Java commands, Java, C, and then Java. So now we are compiling just a single source file. But what if you have a project? In my project, let's say I have hundreds of files and so directories, and then it's a different types of files we have. Then how I'm going to compile it? Am I going to compile using these Java commands? No. Then comes build tools. So these build tools will help us to compile your projects. Okay. Now, anyway, let's start with, and I think now we understand the purpose of these tools. Now, let's move on to first installation of these tools. Okay. So installation. So these installations are pretty much easy installations. Yeah. We'll just look at the installations first. Okay. And then, so later we'll just start with, so running some Ant scripts. Okay. Anyway, we'll start with installations. Now, as a part of installation, now first we install its prerequisite. Let's install its prerequisites. Right. Now, what are the prerequisites? Java is a prerequisite. Right. Let's install Java, and so later we install Ant. Okay. So why we install Java? Because it's a Java project. When you compile a Java project, we must use Java as your prerequisite as a platform. Now, so Java, and then so there is a Java. Let's install Java first. Let's want to download first, and once we download, then we install it. I'll show you download. So JDK download. Okay, but JDK which version? That's also important. When you talk about version JDK, install any version which is greater than that, which is your 10.1, which is the latest one. Install any version in between that. Okay. So now why that version is required? At least that version I mean. So why that is required? Because that version is required for our Jenkins. So when you go to Jenkins, you should not get any difficulties, and so with Jenkins compatibility. Okay. So we need that version at least for Jenkins also. Jenkins also need JDK Java. Okay. That's the reason. So in advance, we are installing this. Okay. And JDK. So this is the version I'm going to download. Nothing but this is after that, after 144. So the version is like 241 here, 8241, and like I said, 8144 at least. So 241 means after 144. That's okay. And download first, download according to your so OS, what kind of OS it is. And then its version Windows 64-bit or whatever, and download it. So 64-bit, and then so, and once that is downloaded, right, then we'll start with download it. Now, and moreover, look at here, download JDK. Don't download JRE. JDK means Java Development Kit, and JRE means Java Runtime Environments. So we need JDK, okay, Java Development Kit. Okay, that is we need Java Development Kit. Don't download JREs, Java Runtime Environments. Java Runtime Environments are to run your projects. Here, we are compiling it. So once you compile it, then you run your projects. So since you want to compile it, then we need JDK development. Okay, let's go with that downloading it. So once you click on the download, it will be downloaded. So I already have downloaded that. So there we have JDK 181. Just double click on it, that will be installed because it is application exe file. So it will be installed. Just click on yes, and once you click on yes, and that will be installed easily. But I'm not installing it because I already have installed it. But let me just show you this. Now, once that is installed, or how to install it? So very simple. Just download JDK first. First step is download, and then so once you download it, just click on that installation. And while installing, just go with next, next, next. Right? Then install it. You get some steps in between, right? So go with next. Agree terms and conditions. Click on next, and where you want to install that JDK, in which path, select that path. Okay, and JDK will be installed. Now I already have installed it, so I have installed that in D drive. There we have Java. Select some path wherever you want to install it in between installation, and then now JDK is installed in that path. There you have JDK Java installed. Okay, so that is the first step. Installation is the first step. That's step 1, and step 2. Well, this is somewhat important now. So after you download it, then you go with, let's say, so set up path variables. Now, what is path variables? Why we should set up path variables? Okay. Now, so just open command prompt. Now, this is a Windows command prompt, isn't it? Now, since it's Windows command prompt, but how I was able to run those Java commands? See, Windows command prompts understands Windows commands, but how it is able to understand these Java commands? So Java C or Java, these are Java commands, these are not Windows commands. If that is so, how you Windows understand these Java commands? Right? Now, so that is why we are setting path variables. Once you set up these path variables, then Windows will be able to understand your Java commands. Okay, that is what we call path variable setup. Okay, so now how to set up these path variables? Now we'll see. Okay, so let's move on to. So first, let's open your My Computer and then right click Properties, and then Advanced System Settings, and then we have Environment Variables. So we are setting path variables. You can call it path environment variables. Path variables or environment variables. So once you set up these path variables or environment variables, and then you can have your Java running. Okay. Now, what is the first step in it? The first step is our first variable is, the variable name is Java underscore home. Right? So how to set it up? Let's say, so create a new variable, and then variable name is Java underscore home. And look at that variable name. Variable names always in upper cases, Java underscore home. And also variable names are standard, but don't give variables whatever you like. These are standard variable names. Okay, Java underscore home. And next is variable value. So what is variable value? Where is your JDK installed? Java installed. So there you have Java installed in eJava. And then open that bin directory. That is nothing but your, then you see that Java, sorry, not bin, I'm sorry. Just copy that Java folder, copy, and once you copy, that is nothing but variable name, variable value. That's a variable value. Click on OK, and Once click on OK, there we have Java underscore home. Okay. So that is the first variable. And let's set up the second variable. Create a new variable, and the variable name is path. That's your second variable. Path. Right? Now, what is the value of that variable then? Right? Now, the path variable, see, path is a standard variable again. So remember this. These variable names are standard. Don't try to rename. So whatever you just like it. Okay. Now, so what is the path variable? Why we need to set up this path variable? What is the purpose of it? The purpose of path variable is, again, back to your bin directory. So Java directory, there we have bin. Copy that bin. Now, what is that bin actually? Bin is nothing but binary directory or not? Yes, bin is nothing but binaries directory. And where is that binary directory? There is a binary directory. What are they? These are all called binaries. What is binaries means? Executable file. Now look at here. I was running a Java C command, Java command. These are nothing but, so Java commands or not? Yes, these are Java binaries. Now, if you want to run this Java binaries, from where are you going to run it? Of course, I was running it through command line. Right? So this command line, so how does your Windows command line understands your Java commands? Or else, how does your Windows command line knows where your Java binaries are defined? My Java binaries are defined in this path. So that is what we call path setup. Copy that path setup and just go over here. That's it. Okay, I have done it. That is what is bin. Okay, so binaries. Bin is nothing but binaries, and path is nothing but binaries. Where the path variables are being set up. Okay, but just look at here. So this value is nothing but, can you replace it with Java underscore home? Yes, because we already have that variable defined. Yeah, that is the value of it. So indirectly I'm referring that value. Since we are referring it, we just refer with the help of percentage. Percentage. Okay, percentage Java underscore home / bin. Okay, right? So that is finally what is required, and then semicolon. This is the value. Fine. That value. Click on OK. It's a value. Fine. And there you have path variable setup. Just click on OK on everything. OK, OK. And then if your terminal is open, close it and again start it. And there you just set up the Java version. Now, if you're able to get that Java version, your Java has been successfully set up. Okay. So this is how you set up your Java. Now, once Java is set up, then next is AND. Fine. Moving on to AND, how to set up AND. Similar steps like we have followed for Java. Right. So go with AND. So first download it and then install. Download it now. So we show you how to download it. And download and download. Download and go with that apache.and.org. Here you can see the link. So which link and which version? So if you want to install 9.14 versions, you need minimum Java 5 version. But if you want to install this version, 1.10 version, you need at least JDK 8 version. Yes, we have installed JDK 8 version. Yes, right. So undoubtedly you can go with installing that version of AND. Okay, right. Let's Download it. Where is it? And download the zip file. Don't download these tar files. Tar files are for Linux purpose, and we'll be installing and JDK, Apache, and also Maven also on Linux environments. Not now. At the time of Jenkins, we'll look into this. But as of now, we're just doing some hands-on with these tools. That's it. Okay. Now, just try that first. So, and zip folder, there it is. Right. Just click on the zip file. Now, since it's a zip file, now make sure download it. There we have Apache and then we can go with. So right click here. It's a zip file. Remember that it's a zip file. Since it's a zip file, just right click here and then extract. Now it's extracted. There it is. Open and there you are. Okay. So now there is no installation actually. Download it and then extract it. Unzip it again. There's nothing called installation. Okay, download it and then extract it. Right. So, and then second is same. Set up path variables. Now we are setting up path variables. Now, when you set up path variables, and again two things. First is add home variable name, then path variable name. Let's do it. But see, usually I maintain all these tools in eDrive. So that's the reason what I have done it. I just have just copied that into eDrive. You can just copy and cut it, whatever you like. Okay. And there I have, which is in my eDrive. Okay. This is my and path and home path. That's a path. Okay. Now, then set up the path variables. Now, how to set up the path variables? Just like same steps we have done for JDK. My computer, right click, properties, advanced system settings, and then environment variables, and then new variable. And what's the variable name is Java underscore home and a value. So there is a value. This is the value. Okay. Just copy that. And there we have it. Let's close it. Okay, I mean it's okay. And then there we have and underscore home. And secondly, that's the first variable, which is and underscore home. And that's a value. And second variable name is path. Right? Now, path. So what is the variable? I mean, are we going to create a new path variable? No, we are not going to create a new path variable. Instead, we already have that path variable set up. So always make sure no other two variable names are same value. Now, just go with path and then click on that edit. Don't click a new one, click on edit. Once you click on edit, now what is the value of Java? What is the value of that path? We already have it, right? There we have it. Okay. And to the same, let's go with path. Then just now. So what is that path means? That means for the same path variable, I'm appending my new path variable. So what is the new path variable value is? So which is and underscore home percentile. Sorry, this percentile. And then slash b. That's it. So we already have that path variable. Okay, fine. Let it be as it is. That's why we are not creating a new path variable. We are just modifying the existing path variable. And then we have path. Okay, that means we are adding a new path variable. So simply you can say that. So we have two variables. One is and underscore home. Second one is Java underscore home. So this path defines or differentiates that these are two variables. Then we have and underscore home. Okay. make sure you have these variables. But so once you set up your and variable and path variable, there you must have the path something like this. Okay, and after that we just again just restart it. Let's say where is it? Click on OK, 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 and then so your terminal and just check that and version. So we have and version. There is my and version. So in any cases, when you run this Java command or and command, so if you get a message called path not found or command not found, I mean, and command not found, Java command not found. So it means that so your variable is, I mean, the path variables are not defined correctly. Okay. So installations will never have any issues. Right? If you have any issues, you might be having issues with only setting up path variables, not with installations. Okay. So now usually where we do mistakes is this, like we miss some semicolons and percentile, right? And then path. You might have not copied the right path. You should have copied so till pin actually. Okay. So make sure you just set up this path variables correctly, and then these special characters like percentile and then semicolons. So these are correctly given. Otherwise, you get that message called Java command not found. If you get that message, just straight away jump onto path variable, check it out. Is it being set up correctly or not? Okay, fine. So this is how you set up your and then Java. Okay, two simple steps. And then now we're going to start with looking into how do we write these AND scripts. Now we're going to look into some AND scripts, but remember, we never write these AND scripts. Okay, so we never get involved in writing these AND scripts. So these scripts are written by the developers. Right? So these scripts are written by the developers. We take these scripts from the developers actually, and then we run these scripts. So if you want to write any AND scripts or Maven scripts, I mean, I'm talking about build scripts. If you want to write any build scripts, you should have knowledge at scripting level, and moreover, rather than that, you should have knowledge at application program level, right? Java level. So usually, so we are not developers, so we don't get involved in it, not at all. Okay? Anyway, let's try that now. So let's look into how to write these AND scripts. We'll just start with this. But say here, I'm not asking you to write these scripts. I'm asking you at least to understand it. Understand these AND scripts, how do they work? Okay, that is important. So go with start looking at writing a script now. Now we're going to write some scripts, take some sample scripts, we just write the scripts. And from your side, so you don't write these scripts, but I will upload some of the scripts onto Google Drive for your practice purpose. At least understand the logic, how do they work. Okay. Where is it? You can write it anywhere, that's okay. But I make it something like organized, it's okay. Just remove everything here. Now let's take, so I'm writing that in a notepad, notepad++. Just close desktop if we don't need anything. Okay. Now let's write an AND script. So how to write AND scripts and what is the basic syntax of it? Now, AND scripts basically starts with project. That's a project tag that means nothing but opening up your AND script. So project has a name attribute, name, and give a name. Let's say give some name. Okay. Project name, name of test project. Let's say. So new test project. Okay. And then next default. Now, what is the default? We'll come back to that one. Skip that, and that's project, and then open, and then close project. Our project is closed. Now, in between, we write these AND steps. Now, what do you write and how do you write it? Right. Now, so there we write targets. Target, and name of a target is, let's say, capital. That's my target name. But what is the target there? So target is nothing but, let's say, close it. So list of tasks. Target is nothing but list of tasks. Okay. So what do you mean by list of tasks? So for example, I'm compiling a project. Yes, that is a task. And define the task in target. Right. I'm going with, let's say, I'm packaging it. That's a project. That's a task. And I'm testing it. That's a task. So everything has to be written in this within that target. Okay, clear? Fine. So target consists list of tasks. And what is a project? Project is nothing but set of targets. Target is nothing but set of tasks. Now, so let's write a simple task here. Let's say some echo. Echo is a task for printing some statements. Echo, let's say hello from, so capital target, let's say. Now, close echo. So this is basically how your AND scripts looks like. So project and then target. Within that we have task. So echo is a task which is used to print some statements or print some lines. So kind of a text purpose, text printing, message purpose. Now, so like say compilation is a task, and then also packaging is a task, and we have different types of tasks, right? So we copy some files, that is a task. We remove some files and folders, that is also a task. We make them, we create them. Everything is like a task. The task must be defined within target. Okay. Now, so there we have target, and let's save this file. How to save it? Now, file and then save as. Let's save it somewhere. I'm just saving it in this folder anyway. So give some name to the file. Let's say file name is build. That's my file name. Build is a file name. Right. So, and why I'm naming it as build? There is a reason. So the default naming convention of AND files is build. Okay, let's name it as build. And type of the file, so is XML. That's XML. Make you save them as XML. And there is my file, which is build.xml file. There we have our file. Okay, so and let's define another target. So target, and then name of the target, and then let's say info, and then close target, and then again give some echo statement. So hello from info target. Let's say okay. Now we have two targets defined. First target is capital, second target is info. Now, among these two targets, now I will make default target as, let's say, capital. Now, what is the default target? So default target, nothing but a target which executed, and one, when you run your AND script, some target among these two targets, one of the targets will be executed first. What is that first target or initial target will be executed? Is it capital target or info target? Right? So that's capital. Why? Because that is my default target. Okay. So you must have at least one default target, or else, or you can say that without having a default target, you cannot run your scripts, you cannot write your AND scripts. And can we have multiple default targets? No, it has to be only one default target. You cannot have multiple default targets. So now we saved it anyway. That is your file name, build.xml file. Now, so now copy the path and then open command prompt and then in D drive and change your directory. So change your path, and once your path is changed, then the command is AND is the command. Fine. So run this AND command. Enter. Yeah. So AND is the command which is used to run your build.xml files. There we have AND, and there we have capital. And look at the capital. What is target name is capital target. So in my AND scripts, we have capital target. So there we have capital target or not. Yes. And then we have some statement, echo statement. Yes, we have echo statement. So hello from capital target. Okay. But where is the other target? Why this info target is not executed? See, whenever you run your AND scripts, AND executes only default targets. In our example, our default target is capital. Now, info target is not executed. Why it's not executed? Because capital is my default target. So AND executes only default targets, so not the other targets. Done. Anyway, so that is successfully done. So, but can I execute multiple other targets also? Yes. So you might also have number of targets, right? You might have some number of targets, but can I execute all those targets? Yes, you can execute any number of targets. But how that is possible? We'll look at that, of course, now. So there is my script. It's my script, and I was running that command. So, and that command is AND is the command. Now, while you run it, now there we have build.xml file. So the command is AND, but why build.xml file is executed? Because AND by default runs that file called build.xml file. By default, AND run that command, which is build.xml file. There we have build.xml file. Okay, done. Successfully run. And then we just back to your script. There is my script. Fine. Now let's try to rename it. Rename it as, let's say, something like test, whatever it is. Give some name. It's been renamed. And then, so run that again, same command, AND command. But this time it's a failure. So why it's a failure? Because the error is build.xml does not exist. Now the same command, but build.xml does not exist. So what do you mean by does not exist? Of course, in that file, in that path, we don't have that build.xml file, right? So we have something else, which is test.xml file. So by default, AND runs only default file, which is build.xml file, not other names. Now you see, again, I'm going to rename it back to build.xml. Okay, now it is renamed again, and run that command now. Command is AND command. So hello from capital. Oh, right. But what if the file name is, it is not build.xml file. It is something like, let's say, test.xml. Now it is test.xml file, right? Can you run that file? Yes, we can still run that file, but the command is different. This is not, AND is not the command. The command is AND hyphen build file and then your file name. Okay, now let's enter. Now there we have hello from capital target. Okay, so the command is a little bit different. Hello AND hyphen build file and then your file name. There we have hello from capital target. Okay, but So we have two different commands and two different file naming conventions also. That means your file name by default is build.xml file. Yes. And if your file name is not build.xml file, it is something else, then you can also run that script. Now, so moving back to so where is it? That's my sorry, back to your script. Just 1 second. Open that file again. Open that file. Okay. Now, but can I run info target also? As of now, we are running only one target, which is capital target. How I can run the other target? Yes, we can run multiple targets. How that is possible? So that is possible with the help of, let's say, depends. So depends on capital, and but my default target is info. Now look at that small change I have done. So what I have done first, I've changed my info default target from capital to info. So that will be my default target, of course. And but this has some dependency. It depends on capital. So it depends on capital. So what do you mean depends on capital? So whenever your info target executes, it executes capital target first. So the capital target is executed. Okay. So that is what I mean by depends. So first capital target, then info target. Even though your default target is info, then the capital target will be executed first. Why? Because info has dependency. Depends. But this is dependency. So dependency targets will be executed first, then comes actual target. Let's go with. So add hyphen build file and then file name test.xml. Yes, there we have capital and then info. Okay, clear? But can we have multiple targets? I mean, can we have more than two targets? Of course, we can have it. If that is the case, how do you run them? Okay, let's write another script here. Let's go with one more script. And first, save the script. Save it as, let's say, give some name, whatever the name is, something like build file, and then type of is XML is the type. XML type. Okay. So, and just write your project, and then the name of the project is, let's give some name, whatever the name it is, give some name. And then let's say default. So the default, just leave it for the time being. Go back to that and close project. And we'll just go with here. Let's say first give some target. Define first target now. Target, name of the target is, let's say, give some names. Whatever the name it is, just don't worry, I'm giving some names. See, target name can be anything, but you can also give any name. Even if you can also give your name also. Okay. So that can be any name. Let's say semicolon statement, echo, and hello from clean target. Echo. I'm writing a second target. So target, and then name of the target, and let's say name is compile. Some target name, and close target. And then we have echo and hello from, so compile target. Maybe let's define more targets. Okay, so we have these targets. I have 4 targets totally. Okay, so we have clean, compile, and then other target is, let's say, package. Package, and then so it is run, and then save it, and then default is, so let's make it as run is the default. Okay, but run has depends. Let's say run, and then run depends on package, and package depends on, let's say, compile. So we are running with multiple or hierarchical dependency, and then depends on clean. Right? So save it, save. That's my file name, builder.xml file. Now your default target is run, and run depends on package. Since run depends on package, now execution goes to package, and also package depends on compile. There we have compile, and compile depends on clean. There we have clean. So and clean. So first target will be executed is clean target. Just 1 second, guys. 1 second. I'm sorry. Yeah. So now clean. So there we have clean, and compile depends on clean. Right? There we have clean. And so since clean has no dependencies, then clean will be executed first. So first clean, and then compile, and package, and then run. So why is it so? Because of the dependencies, right? So always dependencies will be executed first, then comes your actual target, and run depends on package. Yes, so again, but package depends on compile, or compile depends on clean. So it has got like chain dependency, linking dependencies, multiple hierarchical dependencies. Okay, so that's the reason. So first clean will be executed, then compile, and then package, and then run. Right. So now back to execution. CLI, let's execute it. And so and is the command. Now enter. So we have some error. So something like, so hello world builder.xml file, end target element type target must be end with delimiter. I think we are not closed it somewhere. Let's find out where it is not closed. Yeah, there it is. You see that it is not closed here. It's not closed. Just close it, save it again, and then and so clean compile package and then run. Okay, clean compile package run. So first is clean target, compile target. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's okay. I just must have changed it actually. So here just mention that hello from package target and also hello from run target. Right? Small change anyway, that's okay. But execution was fine. You see that clean, compile, package, run. Only the display message is changed, nothing else. Right? Yeah. But so there we have first is clean, hello from clean target, compile target, package target, run target. So we have these hierarchical dependencies. Right? So one depends on another. Next. So now we just start with. So can one target depends on multiple? Yes, that is also possible. Let's say run depends on package and as well as compile. Fine. Now, is it possible? Yes, that's possible. Or let's say instead of compile, let's say clean. Fine. Let's say run depends on package and clean. Now, so here clean has dependencies already. You see that run depends on package and then clean, but compile also depends on clean. So how many times clean target will be executed now? Will it be executed twice? No. So even though you have multiple dependencies, multiple target dependencies, your targets will be executed only once. That means if one target is called by one or more targets, now here clean target is called in compile target as well as run target. So it is being called in couple of targets, both targets. So if that is the case, now can I run this target multiple times? Okay, yes, you can do it. Are we going to run this target multiple times? No, I'm sorry. No, you cannot. So running a target multiple times is not possible. Okay, we run only targets only once. Right now, you just look at here. Let's now we're going to look into whether the clean target will be executed once or twice. Okay, let's try that. So and clean compile package and then run. Okay, so right. So nothing is changed except we are running a target here. You see that clean compile package run. But do you see that clean executed once or multiple times? It's only once. So targets will never be executed more than one time, even though you call it multiple times. So they'll be executed only once. Okay. So let me just try with one more example. Let's say. So even in package depends on compile. Well, again, let's mention that clean here. Let's mention comma clean, save it, and do the same again, and yes, still save. Okay. If a target is called once, that won't be executed or recalled. Okay. Even though you are calling it multiple times, but internally for maven purpose, so it won't be happening and purpose. I'm sorry, and purpose it won't be happening multiple times. Okay. Now, so this is basically how you write your and scripts. Very basic things we just have gone through today. So we just have seen. So first, so what if your file name is not build.xml file? Or can we have file names in and without build.xml file? Yes, we can have it. That is possible. Okay. And if that is the case, the command is and-build file and the build file name. That's one thing we have to see. Okay. You can have build.xml file either or it's test.xml. And moreover, why we are saving that files as XML file and what kind of script this is? Is it XML scripting? No, it's not. It is AND script. Script is AND, but the base of that AND is XML. That means on XML format, on XML base, AND script is designed. So the syntax is and whatever you see here, these are your AND scripts. Okay, but AND is designed on XML format. That's why our file names are XML. File types are XML types. Okay. And secondly, we just have seen how to write this AND script, and then how do you call multiple targets? We call multiple targets using depends. Okay, clear? So this is what we just have gone through today. Now just get some knowledge about these commands and then these dependencies. Based upon this, in tomorrow's session, we'll start with so how we can compile our project. Let's say we take a simple Java project, we'll compile it and package it using and as a build tool. So how we going to do it? We'll look into that in tomorrow's session. Okay, fine. Yes. So any questions? No. Okay. Thank you.